We feel very privileged and excited to present to you the bottom line. This is Elevation's point of view on the evolution of the fintech industry and also a definitive blueprint for what we believe is a $400 billion value creation opportunity by FY30. We believe that fintechs have truly come of age in the last decade. They've been able to do two things. One, they've been able to create value at scale. Today, the cumulative market cap for all the fintechs in India is about $90 to $100 billion. And more importantly, they've been able to catalyze the modernization of the entire financial services ecosystem. In this report, we also introduce our 4E framework. These we believe are the four vectors along which fintechs will create value and truly drive the modernization of the financial services ecosystem. The four being expansion, experience, enablement, and efficiency.
You've had a situation where it was only fintech and we started out, India today is probably in the second wave or maybe 10 years into the whole fintech action is. What started out as competition in some form and also, kind of being, regulatorily also prescribed in a way that rather than competing, how do you co-opt, right? So the regulator is very clear in saying that if you want to be touching the customer, if you want to be, somebody who wants to actually own the customer, come be regulated, right? So if you're not doing that, then you kind of are on the distribution side of the business because the manufacturing requires a license, right? So therefore, I think in the way the things have evolved, we are no longer looking at, just an upstart to be a fintech, right? So that universe has expanded. You could have a large NBFC saying, how do I reimagine, new to credit? So that is a fintech execution at play. You could reimagine how, affordability options get enabled on a large e-commerce sort of, location. That becomes a fintech, in its own right. So therefore, the universe of fintech action has kind of expanded beyond how we kind of think about it, saying it's an upstart that is going through its, sort of growth curve. And that is really exciting because we now have in India a handful of banks that are saying we are fintech friendly, we want to innovate, we want to co-create, we want to take products into the market. And therefore, I would like to believe in a large market like India over the next 5, 7, 10 years, we will have at least half a dozen banks, if not more, of digital first banks, right? And when I say not from a regulatory sense, but actually solving for embeddability of the product, actually solving for creating or manufacturing these financial products where, it's actually distributed from digital storefronts, which don't exist today. So I think the hard part for a lot of people today is to really reimagine. So, I was on a conversation with one of the investors where we spoke about what is this TAM? And the whole universe of TAM itself is, it doesn't exist because today we are talking about, our conversation with CEO are saying, how do I help you get the next 1,000 crores from a new, fintech idea, which didn't exist in the universe, right? So therefore, our profit pools in terms of how an infrastructure business should look like will get rewritten. How the fintech universe will have to look at, the profit pools will get rewritten. So therefore, that there's an exciting sort of phase that we are getting into. And like you said, we started the conversation with, we are at an inflection point where we'll see new business models, sort of get evolved. And I'll probably close with saying that, I look at India as the fintech factory for the world. A lot of the ideas that will get, germinated here would actually find its feet all across the world, and it's going to be an exciting decade or two for as far as India fintech action is concerned.
Please visit bottomline.elevationcapital.com. Here we have compiled all the data, interview notes, and views that have all gone into building this report. We hope the entire ecosystem is able to benefit from this compendium as much as we have.